Hey guys, I'm back. I took some time off during the holidays to spend time with family and to work with my husband on finishing our dining room. We built a bunch of new furniture, put wainscoting up, and painted everything, and he built me a table. So it's been a pretty busy past couple months, but I'm back here recording videos for you guys. So today we're talking about how to know if you're in ketosis without testing. For most people, it takes a few days up to a couple weeks to get into ketosis after starting a ketogenic diet. And for most people, the symptoms of ketosis are pretty clear once that fogginess of the first few days or weeks subsides and you're past your sugar cravings and all of the negative side effects that can happen while you're detoxing from that. The symptoms of ketosis become pretty clear. These include mental clarity, more energy throughout the day, being able to go longer periods of time between meals without being starving or hangry. And that's another one, is that you're not really hangry anymore when you're in ketosis. When you're burning sugar, hunger becomes a much more urgent thing than when you're in ketosis. When you're in ketosis, it'll just be a general, oh, I kind of feel maybe a little sluggish, I should eat something, I need more energy, or just minimal stomach growling, and that's about it. I used to get hangry before I was in ketosis, and now I don't experience that anymore. Another big one is being able to wake up really easy in the morning without feeling groggy. I'm not sure if this is a sign of ketosis specifically, but most people who are on a ketogenic diet find that they're a lot less gassy and bloated after they eat, or even just throughout the day. You also might see improvements in your workouts at the gym. You might find that you're able to run longer or lift heavier or lift more at a time. These are all signs of ketosis. And while we're on the subject of testing for ketones, I got a blood ketone meter for Christmas. So I'm going to show you guys how that works and how you can test to know for sure if you're in ketosis. So I got the Precision Extra blood meter, and it comes with the meter itself, a little poker for poking your finger, some extra lancet needles, and I got ketone strips and blood strips. So these ones will check your ketone numbers, and these ones will check your blood sugar levels. And they both work in the same meter. So I'm going to show you guys how this works. You're going to take your little stick. I don't know what the name of this thing is. You're going to pop this top off, grab a new lancet, and put it in here. Shove it down in there, and you're going to twist off this little top, and that exposes the needle. So then you're going to put the little cap back on and dial it to the number of whatever depth you want. I've been doing 2 or 3, and that's been pretty appropriate. Make sure that's pulled back. And then before I stick myself, obviously I wash my hands. I'm gonna grab one of these. And I get this prepped before I stick myself, so I'm not doing this with a bloody finger. So you just pull that off, and you've got your little ketone strip. And then you insert the black side up. And I'm just gonna rest it in there until I'm ready. So with this, you have your charger button. I usually use the side of my thumb, and helps sometimes, like to warm your hands up or to keep your hands down, get the blood flow going down to your fingers first. And then you're gonna just stick it in the side, press the button, poked me. That might not have been deep enough. Kind of work the blood out. You can see a little drop of blood there. Get a good size drop so that the meter can detect it. Okay, so now I'm gonna stick this in all the way, and it'll turn on and tell you that it's ready for the blood. Just kind of push it on there. It'll beep. It'll do your countdown. And it'll give you your number. So any range between 0.5 and 3 is typically in ketosis, and you can even be higher than 3. That's like extreme ketosis. And that's a pretty helpful tool for knowing for sure if you really want to know. And that's just a little tiny prick and it's not a big deal. Doesn't hurt at all. So the reason I got a blood ketone meter is so that I can do some experimentation on myself. I don't necessarily need to know for sure if I'm in ketosis, just because I can kind of tell by the way I'm feeling, the things I've listed before. But I've been wanting to really experiment with different types of high carb veggies and even possibly rice, things like that, for carb up days, just so I know for sure if certain things kick me out of ketosis or not. So for sure I know now that I'm able to have carrots, potatoes, sweet potatoes, squash, things like that, and it doesn't kick me out of ketosis. So this is a great tool for learning how your keto works for you and what foods you can tolerate once you've been in ketosis for a while, once you're fat adapted. Fat adaptation typically begins after a few weeks of being in ketosis, and this is when your body just knows that it's supposed to burn fat instead of sugar. So even if you have a high carb meal, so over the holidays I did have a bunch of cookies and things like that, so I'm able to go back to eating keto the next day and my body will still know that it should be burning fat instead of sugar, that it shouldn't go back to relying on sugar. Through this meter, I've also found out that for my body, if I have a day of eating carbs or even a large meal of carbs, it'll take me at least a couple days to get back into ketosis. So that's really helpful for me to make better decisions on whether it's worth it or not to me to have certain meals or not. I know over Christmas it was worth it to have all the cookies, and I'm back in ketosis now, and that's totally fine. So if you're interested, it is the Precision Extra blood meter. I found it on Amazon along with the test strips. You do eventually need to get new lancets because you need a new one every time, but I ended up finding a box of like 100 of them for $2 on Amazon, so that's not too cost prohibitive. The main cost comes with your strips, since this is a one-time purchase and you'll need to get more strips as you go. But for me, it's been worth it. I'm really glad I got it, and it's been really fun to be able to test what my body tolerates and what it doesn't as far as being kicked out of ketosis or not. Just a fun experiment. So that's all I have for you today as far as ketone testing goes. A little side note, I ended up going to the doctor this past week to get my blood drawn, and they took 6 vials from me of blood, and they're gonna be doing all the tests to find out what's going on with my hormones and all of those things. So I'm really excited to find out what those results are gonna be so I can make some changes. Based on that book I told you guys about in a couple videos back, Taking Charge of Your Fertility, I found out that my thyroid was basically tanked because my waking temperatures were in the pits. So I did start taking a natural thyroid supplement that I found on Amazon that had really great reviews, and I've already been seeing an improvement in my waking temperatures throughout the past couple months. So that's really exciting to see like actual changes and actual improvements there, and I'm excited to continue working on more things once I know what else is going on. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for subscribing and giving my videos thumbs up. I'm really thankful for your guys' support. I'll see you next time.